So, day 4 of Nofap, I believe in more. I feel there's actually a certain philosophy I go by, slime versus static, that I use to describe certain things I do to see the world differently and not even on purpose versus other people. Not always in a binary, black and white sense, but like for me, I think slime would be more. This is how I define some of the benefits of Nofap in particular. But slime would be like things that go along maybe my more testing goal, but like some things will be noticeable than others at a certain given moment, and then some things will be less noticeable than others. That will be slime, and then static will be like being too wide open or narrow, closed in about what's happening or not, and that's my very philosophical approach about myself and other people. I'm very blunt about this. I'm also very selfish in a sense. Because not everyone thinks in static, and not everyone I don't always think in slime myself. So it's interesting. So I can make another video about that, slime versus static, or make this one that video. But this is supposed to be a Nofap update, and it's gonna follow through with what might actually be a claymation live stream. Because I'm about to stream maybe 2 to 4 hours on making the pocket prop from the ones within, and then have time to talk about other things like salesmanship and claymation while I do the fancy props on the rig, the suspension rig that's over there, and I should probably make another video about that at some point. But yeah, Nofap benefits and cons and whatnot. Here we go. I'm noticing that I actually obviously some of the obvious benefits are coming through. The energy, confidence, motivation, senses are coming back. Some of my senses I'm not noticing that too much, but because I'm taking them for granted in the moment, so my senses are coming back. I notice. Like I said before, I notice like slime benefits. Like slime, some things more than others, some things less than others. I'm noticing like I see things for what they really are. I'll look at like a video game character and be like, oh yeah, that's a 3D generated. That's not to be too like thinking that that's fake or whatever, but like I'll realize that this is like a human face, however weird that sounds. And the more of these benefits you can talk about, the more it sounds like you're someone who's anything but less numb than they actually are. Like these benefits are indeed coming back to your not former self, and so that can confuse a lot of people that don't know what addiction is like, particularly PMO. And they hear stuff like that, and they're like, "That's the human experience." No, duh. But like, so they're like, "Why are you confused? You don't know what being human is?" No, it's because that's how bad the addiction is. That's how fucked up it is. But it's just, my confidence is showing right now. I mean, I'm making this video for one thing with the energy I have from abstinence. I've abstained from porn masturbation for 4 days or more, and I finally got around to stopping dry humping for orgasms a day or two before. So that's already twice as much long time off the PMM as well as from yeah. Other benefits would include maybe being more in tune with who I really am, and hopefully be more transparent, which I am really happy about, and actually trusting what I'm doing the way I already have for years, but in the sense that I'm actually trusting it more enough to actually accompany my confidence through them. So again, confidence and motivation, but some cons would include, this happens to me either way, whether I'm abstaining or not, but irritability. I get like, I'll notice the littlest thing. I didn't turn on my computer for days, and it was simply from like missing the power button, and be like, yeah, my finger slips the wrong way, and it did the last time I did just to turn on it this morning finally. But if I'm not like from not turning on my computer, from being irritable to not like putting on my jacket because I'm irritable, to not like to not taking a shower, maybe hopefully not. I don't think lately, but things like that, where it's like irritability is gonna be there for me personally, whether I abstain from PMO or not. But I think when I was irritable, I would avoid things I already intended to actually really depended on doing, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna put up with that, even though I really kind of wanted to. But irritability increased, but it's gonna go away at some point. Not forever, but it'll come back in good, better ways than I anticipate. So I already don't know the best for me, but I already know what it is. If that makes sense, but so I expect the best anyway. So irritability was pretty annoying, obviously. Off the top of my head, I got judged a lot more, man. I got judged a lot more. Like I felt like if it was already bound to feel criticism while on day 0 over and over, then imagine like just being like on the crux of just knowing that everything you're doing is for the best of yourself, and it still looks questionable to people's eyes. And I'm not trying to care too much what they think in the first place. At least not anymore. But it sucks. It's like, I've always feared criticism. I've actually realized just recently, at least I defined it in this sense, that I actually think I think my worst fear isn't thanatophobia. It's not criticism. It's not even isolation. It's creativity. And I say this because I know that of all things, I do tend to throw creativity under the rug the most and under the bus. I don't mean to hide it. And it runs much deeper. It's more complicated than simply being ashamed of a strength. It's like, I don't even think it's even remotely like that. I think it's like, rather than being ashamed of a strength, as some people may think from hearing that, it's more like something that I don't understand as much as other people already do about me. So it's like, if you're creative, why don't you just use the beautiful light to make things better? No, it runs much deeper than that. It's like, it's horrific in a sense that I don't think people are giving me a chance to explain, which I've tried to before. I don't know why it doesn't go through, but it's like, yeah, creativity is my fear, greatest fear, and it's just, it's terrible. It's like, it's not supposed to have cons in that kind of sense, if they ever had cons for other people to describe, but for me, if I didn't know how to explain through example why it's my greatest fear, I'll just say that it's just something that makes me hugely misunderstood in a nutshell. I can get back to it later if I can, but yeah. So yeah, I get misunderstood a lot through my journey, seeming retention, maybe. Enough for sure. I hope I don't sound pretentious again for saying shit like that as a 24-year-old dude who's still a diversion. Jesus. This is on a Crosswind channel, boy. Why am I saying that for? Even for a Nofap journey, but Jesus. Again, it's like, maybe I am kind of off filter more often. I'm trying to think of the things that make me more brave without being too selfish. So balance is still pretty hard, but I'm getting through it. One other con would maybe be that that I'm not prepared for the plateau to come, where the benefits stop coming in because you finally got a whole of things. So like, if I got the ball rolling for this abstinence, then yeah, of course it would feel better. But then I have to realize that they eventually come to a halt. The benefits, because as I compare my former self, I have to accept that more as a lifestyle, not just a challenge. I understand. I've said this before. I understand where the challenge versus lifestyle thing comes into place. I know people, including myself, have a good way to defend that and explain that the challenge has benefits. The lifestyle may not be the best way to see it, But I can accept it. I can accept it as a lifestyle, but I don't have to blindize. Lifestyle over challenge. We're not immature men. No, come on. I know where that's going. I hope I know where I can go with that in defense of challenges. But one last thing is that the con of apps for me in my journey was I didn't know if I was prepared for benefits to stop. That's how I came up more of my former self. I should have never made it too acceptable to be seeing myself as a downgraded version of myself, because especially in recent months, I was able to improve other areas of my life, whether I was succeeding at Nofap or not, and that was pretty important to understand, that I could still improve areas of my life whether I was succeeding or not on Nofap. Now, Nofap would be best in the long run, but just to be able to succeed at things. So, okay, I'm gonna stream pretty close to 11 or 12 today, in noontime. And then I won't tell anyone. I mean, you'll know if your subscribers got the notifications, but I won't push this. I don't think I'll push a stream this time, but rather I'm just gonna go straight forward to 2 to 4 hours of prop sculpting and rig testing, and then talk about my salesman stuff. The salesman thing, it's not going to stop me from being a claymation animator. I'm not gonna stop doing stop motion just because I have a job that I chose to have out of passion and interest I actually happen to have at that moment. Even that passion isn't for claymation. Because, again, you guys should already know by now that I'm not passionate about claymation. But that doesn't stop me from being the best version of myself, even if that includes doing claymation for the sake of doing it. And hopefully for the sake of also being learning from it and learning from my talents and things that the world depends on me for. And, I don't mean to throw claymation and creativity in particular under the bus. I'm really sorry if anyone feels like I'm trying to give up claymation. I'm not going to give up too soon on claymation. Not for results. Not for passion, not for passion, not out of compassion, not even just because it looks like a tragic burden, but I will continue to do claymations, whether, at the very least, for discipline. So, that entails much and then the stream. So, see you guys later. Same as okay.